How many seconds should you look into someone's eyes to avoid looking like a psychopath? 1, 10? You might be surprised, but science has found the exact formula for the perfect gaze, down to the second. In this video, we will teach you how to manage people's attention. You will learn exactly how to look on a date to make your partner fall in love with you, how to behave in a job interview to land your dream job, and how to hold the attention of an entire crowd with just your eyes. We will break down the mistakes that 90% of people make and find that fine line between confidence and madness.
Beauty demands poison. In the 17th century, Venetian beauties took a terrible risk. They dropped poisonous belladonna juice into their eyes. This caused their pupils to dilate and look like black diamonds. It was considered the height of seduction. Women went blind, but they kept doing it. Later, scientists picked up this baton of madness. To study eye movement, early test subjects had to have cocaine dropped into their eyes. Otherwise, the pain from the instruments was unbearable. It wasn't until the 60s that the term eye contact appeared, and we finally began studying it without victims.
The magic number 3.3. Only in 2016 did scientists finally find the exact answer. At the Science Museum in London, they gathered 500 people from 56 countries around the world. They were shown videos where actors looked directly into their eyes. The result was astoundingly precise. The ideal gaze time is exactly 3.3 seconds. This is the golden mean. Most people felt comfortable in the range of 2 to 5 seconds. But a gaze longer than 9 seconds didn't please anyone. Our brain perceives this as a threat or a sign of madness.
Your brain on fire. When you look someone in the eye, a real fire starts in your head. The brain shifts into hyperactivity mode, releasing hormones of trust and pleasure. It feels good, but it is very difficult to process. That is exactly why, when we need to think of a difficult answer, we instinctively look away. The brain simply cannot multitask. Scientists also discovered a fantastic fact. During contact, your pupils and even your brain waves begin to synchronize with the other person.
The maniac stare. Myth versus truth. Movies taught us to fear people who look without blinking, but real psychopaths behave differently. Scientists found that they often avoid looking people in the eye because they lack empathy and simply aren't interested in your feelings. An intense, continuous stare longer than 10 seconds is an animal signal of aggression and threat. However, if someone hides their eyes, it doesn't necessarily mean they are lying. Most likely, they're just shy. The most cunning liars, on the contrary, will stare right into your soul, knowing that this way you will believe them faster.
Where you can't look. What is polite in New York might be an insult in Tokyo. In the West, a direct gaze is a sign of honesty and strength. If you hide your eyes, it means you're hiding something or lying. But in Japan or China, looking a boss directly in the eye is aggression and a rude challenge. There, a polite person looks at the neck or tie of the person they are talking to. In Latin America, however, the gaze is even longer and more intense than in Europe. Imagine a meeting between an American and a Japanese person. One drills with their eyes, showing confidence, while the other is horrified and considers him insolent, simply because they grew up in different worlds. A manual for life. At a job interview, use the 50-70 rule. Look 50% of the time when you speak and more 70% when you listen. On a date, 3 seconds is nothing. Lovers look at each other for 20 seconds, triggering the production of the love hormone. But on the street, only a split-second glance and a smile. Look longer than a second and it's already a threat. If a fight is brewing, it is better to look away. This will calm the enemy. And a life hack for video calls. Look at the camera lens, not the screen. Otherwise, the other person feels like you are looking past them. A dictionary of glances. There is a whole language of eyes, and you need to know how to use it. The most useful technique is the triangle. Smoothly move your gaze from one of the other person's eyes to the other, and then to their mouth. This looks soft and friendly. If you are asked a difficult question, feel free to look at the ceiling or to the side. This is not impoliteness, but a thoughtful gaze. This way, you help your brain find the answer. When speaking to a crowd, use scanning. Give each person a couple of seconds so no one feels forgotten. The main thing is not to mix it up. A bedroom eyes look at your boss will be just as inappropriate as a drilling stare on a first date.
Myths we believe. Let's sort out the legends. They say that dilated pupils are a sure sign of being in love. Don't be too quick to rejoice. They can become huge from fear, coffee, or just dim light. And what about the idea that 4 minutes of staring guarantees anyone will fall in love with you? Experiments have proven this does create powerful intimacy, but there is no magic. And be careful, often the most ideal, unblinking contact is used not by the most honest people, but by experienced manipulators who know how much we trust eyes.
The safety formula. Remember the golden rule, 3.3 seconds. This is the perfect time to show respect without looking crazy. The range of 2 to 5 seconds is safe almost anywhere. But context changes everything. On a date, forget the timer. Long looks are needed there. But in an elevator or during a conflict with an aggressor, it is better not to look in the eyes at all. Here, every fraction of a second counts. A gaze is just a tool, like a hammer. You can build a bridge of trust with it, or you can strike a blow. Use it wisely.
More than just a look, eye contact is our most ancient superpower. The magic number of 3.3 seconds isn't just a statistic, but the result of millions of years of evolution. When you look someone in the eye, an invisible dialogue between two brains takes place. Without words, you ask, "Who are you?" The eyes truly are the window to the soul. So next time, don't be afraid to meet a gaze. A whole universe can fit into those short 3 seconds, from simple interest to the beginning of a great story.